Welcome to the Fence and Deck Mastery Podcast, where we discuss cutting-edge techniques, industry trends, and business insights to take your fence or deck company to the next level and dominate your competition. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Alex Danner, and the founder of Fence and Deck Marketers, which is a digital marketing agency that works only with fencing and decking companies. And today we got a cool episode for you. We're going to be talking all about bamboo. So you probably weren't expecting that. But we're going to be talking a lot. Got an exciting guest here to really go through the details of it. And we're going to be talking all about MOSO Bamboo Outdoor, which actually at Deck Expo when I was there, our booth was actually right across from MOSO, and I got to know the products, and just seemed really cool. So I was like, hey, let's bring them on the podcast and share this with the listeners, and that's what we're here to do today. So today I have the social media marketing director for MOSO Bamboo, Neil Adams. So Neil, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me, Alex. Yeah, it was fun. We were at the Deck Expo and they were doing a little
Yeah.
hanging bar to and got lots of people to come up. So these guys are great at reaching people. So it's good to
Yeah.
talk to you again.
Yeah. The pull-up bar was a hit. It worked out better than I thought, actually. So we're definitely gonna make that a staple. These
Yeah.
guys just can't help themselves but challenge themselves or try to beat their friends or whatever. But anyways, Neil, if you could just kind of introduce yourself, maybe a little bit about your story, how you got joined up with MOSO, and then from there maybe just talk a little bit about MOSO and how it got started, and the history of that too would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Neil Adams. I do marketing, I do social media, content creation, and I started out working for the Mozo brand originally through one of their distributors who distributes online, products direct, and then I Mozo kind of saw what I was doing for them with social media management and learning more about the product in the industry, and they had me kind of take over their socials as well. Um, and it's been a really cool company to work with that uh, has a really good mission for environmental sustainability, and has some really unique, beautiful properties about it. But in terms of Mozo itself, so it started out as a Dutch company in 1997. It was basically a bunch of people came together with investors and realized that bamboo was the most sustainable natural product to build out of. And so they wanted to figure out what applications made the most sense to build bamboo out of. Um, and so they started off kind of asking our architects what the best applications would be for bamboo. And they ended up doing the Madrid International Airport in Spain was one of their first really big projects. It was 2.5 million square feet of fire-rated ceiling material. If you've ever been to the airport in Madrid, it's beautiful. And that kind of brought attention to Mozo, helped us expand. Um, Started working in Milan, Barcelona, Portugal, South Africa, Dubai. So there are all these kind of chapters across the world. Um, and then in 2017, so still quite recently, less than 10 years ago, we opened in North America. And specifically, we realized that the best application for bamboo in North America was exterior products. And so we've really been focusing on things like decking, fencing, siding, because we find that that's where the market here is taking most advantage of it. And because it really kind of becomes this sustainable product that mimics eBay in a lot of ways and is just a beautiful exterior product. So it's been fun to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you mentioned that I know you went into pretty good detail when we spoke, and you kind of had had the boards and stuff on the table, so I got to feel them, and you kind of explained it from there. But um, how does it? I guess you mentioned ePay, so how does it kind of compare to that? Is it most, or I guess any kind of similarities you could have with current another type of product, maybe? What I guess are the similarities or differences, between some of the more, hardwoods like that.
Yeah, so originally I believe it was a project in Europe, and they were looking to the architects were looking for a alternative to Ipe, and that's where they came up with the predecessor to the Bamboo Thermo line, which is this colored product. And so it really was um, invented to mimic Ipe in a sustainable way. But the really cool thing is that it is actually harder than Ipe. So they take about 8 inches of bamboo fibers and densify it and cook it essentially into these huge sheets, um, all the way down into an inch, into 3/4 of an inch. Um, this board, so it's actually denser than Ipe, um, and you get a Class A fire rating from that, which is really cool with some of our customers on the West Coast. It's essentially the only natural Class A fire rated product that they can use. Um, but yeah, in terms of installation, the final look, it's very similar to Ipe. So we kind of treat it like an exotic hardwood, as opposed to, you know, building decks and fences. Sometimes people are going to be using the composites. And this is kind of really meant to be a natural option for people that has a lot of the benefits in installing that composites would have.
Okay. So with bamboo, do you have to do maintenance on it, kind of like ePay, where you have to like have a polish on it, or that polish might not be the right word, but like put something to keep the color
Yeah,
on it?
finish. So
Finish. There you go.
sure, yeah. So with this is the bamboo thermo. We actually have two lines of products. This is the lighter endurance. It's a little bit different, but this is what you're going to be building fences out of specifically. Um, and it really all that we ask is that you wash it once a year, you clean it. Although it will weather over time to kind of a grain a grayer grain look. So if you want to keep the really dark chocolate color, um, you would do a finish once a year, and we have a Mesmer's finish. But it's not required. I'd say about 70% of our end users just leave it to weather as it is.
Gotcha. Okay. And you said a couple of times like it's just a very sustainable, I think you said more sustainable than ePay. Like, can you kind of talk about that? Like, what makes it so sustainable?
Yeah, absolutely. So, bamboo, I they're not actually technically trees. It's a grass, and it grows about 5 times faster than ipe, than trees. It grows much faster, and then when you cut it down, you don't actually have to replant it. It just grows back the next year because it's a network of what's technically an enormous grass. Um, and then on top of that, it sequesters more carbon. It sucks up more carbon from the atmosphere than trees do. Um, so because of that, even including all transportation to the end project, it's actually carbon neutral or carbon negative. So it's pretty cool that we can say that we lock up more carbon than is used in any of that process. And so that's kind of why it started off with a lot of applications with architects. Because oftentimes people are looking to do like a really cool carbon neutral project, and that's something that we can come in for.
Gotcha. So how long does the bamboo have to grow like in order for it to be harvested for something like this?
It's just a few years.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to give an exact number, but it only takes a few years for a bamboo stock to grow. And then, yeah, once again, once it's cut down, it will just grow back the next year.
Huh. So yeah, I mean, I guess I've obviously I know seen bamboo and stuff like that, and I've always heard it's one of the strongest too, isn't that right? Like it's a really strong. Is that true? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it has quite a lot of density in the strands, and then we kind of push it into an even denser block of material. But one thing that people were having a lot of trouble with bamboo in the early 2000s was that it would splinter. It was kind of these strands that were interlocked, but over time they were doing a lot of bamboo flooring and it would splinter up. So we kind of came up with a new method of making an actual product out of this. It's I think our fifth iteration. And um it's pressed together with heat and with a resin that's essentially what bowling balls are made out of, um, and densified in a way that really allows it to last over time. And it has a 25-year warranty against rot and decay. It really just holds itself in place as well. It doesn't have uh, it's not going to move from side to side, and it's not going to absorb water either, meaning you can leave it overnight and over winter, and it won't be absorbing water and expanding and contracting. So once you lay it down, that's where it's going to be, um, and it's not going to move like wooden decks.
Huh. That's cool. It doesn't expand or contract at all. Just stays the same.
It really doesn't because with with wood you would have porous kind of tiny holes in the sides. Um, with bamboo, the natural grain of it, um, the bamboo stalks are don't absorb water. It kind of splashes off, and so that's what we press into these boards. So the only place that it could possibly absorb water would be through any cut ends. Um, but you don't need to end wax or anything like that. So it really does make a simple process for a hardwood.
Gotcha. Okay. And where do you get all this bamboo? Where's it all grown?
So it's grown in China and it's assembled in China, and then we bring it here to the U.S. and have distribution partners all across the country.
Gotcha. Do the tariffs at all like have any effect on you guys?
Yeah, I mean it's an effect on the industry. Fortunately, we had a
Yeah.
lot of product already in the U.S. and fortunately, just our pricing in general is it gave us some room to work with. It's gonna end up being about half the price of some of those exotic hardwoods that you're getting, especially with those starting to go up in price as well. Um, so we're pretty fortunate to be where we are in the market.
The price you said the pricing's half of what eBay is, those hardwoods?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
the retail level is going to be somewhere around half. Yep.
Nice. So how does that compare with I guess like pressure treated or composites? Like how's the pricing compared to those?
It'll be a good amount more than pressure treated. Um, it's usually going to fall somewhere around the mid tier line of composites. Which when I tell people that, they tend to be pretty surprised. They think it would be more expensive than most of the composites, but it actually falls somewhere in line with that pricing.
Gotcha. Okay. And then are there different lines for what you guys offer too, like different tiers to the quality, like you see with the composites or no?
It's just one kind of quality tier. It's all thermally modified densified bamboo. We do have the different color, which has a slightly different production process. This is the bamboo endurance, and this is used for decks. It is, and then the bamboo thermo is used for decks, fences, um, siding, um, and yeah. So it's just the kind of two product lines.
Okay, so you got two different colors for it, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, is that like with bamboo? Is it hard to like create custom colors? I mean, I don't know. That's a dumb question, but like, is it, uh, are you able to do that in the future? Or is it just hard to like color them a certain way?
I mean, I think the idea is really kind of keeping it natural, and then kind of leaving it up to the contractor, the end
Yeah,
user, if they want to do some more customization with it. Um, so this is just the natural color that the bamboo creates when you kind of heat it up and press it together.
for sure. Okay. Um, anything like contractors need to know when they're installing something like that? I mean, is there anything different about installing that versus any other material?
Yeah, it is a bit different. So, it comes in 6 foot boards, almost like flooring. Um, and it has a end match, a tongue and groove end match structurally. Um, so the boards will just click together on the ends, um, and that way you kind of just lay it down, you add some fasteners, it's not going to move. And you have to do almost no cutting because it's these 6 foot boards. You lay one down, snap the next one into it, lay the next one down, and then at the end, you can just make a cut and start the next row with that cut. So you're just gonna have to make one cut per row essentially. Um, and so people find that it A saves them a lot of time. B, they're not really getting much waste product. And so with a a business that has pretty high costs, they might be charging so and so for a job, but only making a certain small percentage of that. Um, they find that they can make a solidly higher profit, compared to an e-pay job where you're having to cut every end to make sure that they line up. You're spending more time kind of lining up each board and waxing. So lower installation costs, lower installation time. Um, it makes it really easy for ePay installers to get maybe a little bit higher profit on their jobs. And then for composite installers, um, it has that end match and it has, the grooves on the sides that you add fasteners to, um, between the boards. And so it's very similar to installing composite. So I would say for people that are used to installing composite, it's something that they can introduce to their customers, have a natural line kind of for the higher end luxury decks, without having to retrain their team, and kind of learn some of those specialized skills that might be involved usually with it installing exotic hardwoods.
Okay. Is there, um, I mean, well, actually, I'm curious, like how many contractors are using it right now in the US? Like, is it a lot of people installing these regularly? I mean, what's like the breakdown there, or, rough estimate, maybe whatever you have?
I don't have an exact number, but yeah, it's a lot of people on the West Coast, um, and for decks specifically, and then for fences, I would say a lot of people building privacy walls, a lot of people, who are really excited by the fact that it is Class A fire rated because there's
Yeah.
not really another natural option for them. Um, And I would say it's a lot of people that traditionally build with hardwood. So it's a bit of a specific market. But those specific people have really been liking it because, like I said, it saves them time and money.
Yeah, and the whole fire rating too. I mean, you said that's the only natural one. I think there's only like one composite that is fire rated that way too, right? Isn't it like TimberTech or something? Or
Yeah, yeah. There's
PVC?
a couple that have recently composites that have recently introduced a fire rated line.
Yeah,
And then in terms of like Ipe, it's technically it may have those fire rated qualities, but what I've heard is that sometimes because every batch is different, it would be difficult to get it actually approved for specific projects. Um, but all, our products are all Class A fire rated and each one is identical. Um, so you can use it in some of those projects.
gotcha. So what does that mean, like Class A fire rated? Like, is there any kind of like I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know
there's a
exactly how that
test for
works.
it.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
from my understanding, they put the product in a huge tube and shoot fire through the tube and see there's a certain number of I don't know exactly, but there's a certain amount of time that it has to withstand without igniting. Um,
Gotcha.
and so the idea is that you're kind of creating a barrier um, of something that is not flammable like wood would be.
Yeah. So I guess the whole is correct me if I'm wrong, but like the whole point is like, especially out in California with all the fires, it's meant to like not have something that can like light on fire really quickly and then light your house on fire. It's meant to more like not ignite and keep your house safer. Is that kind of right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And they have certain areas have WUI requirements, wildlife urban interface, where basically houses are close to forests and places that might catch fire.
Right.
And so they're increasingly in California, I believe parts of Colorado, some of those other states, that actually require every deck or fence in those areas, especially depending on how close it is to the house, that it have that rating.
Okay. So is that kind of like the main market for you guys? Is that what you're going after the most? Is like people that need that fire rating, or I guess what kinds of contractors do you really target the most or see using these materials the most?
Yeah, that's been a huge market for us in the past couple years, especially. So it's where we've put some of our energy. But it's also, I would say, just high-end kind of luxury deck builders, a lot of people on the coast, um, a lot of people that want a really a showpiece deck, something beautiful, something that they can have for years and spend time on and kind of show to their friends like this is this beautiful product. This is sustainable. This is basically the high end option for them.
Gotcha. Okay. And any particular states that you typically, see the most used? I mean, any kind of numbers or data on that?
Yeah, highest states would be California, Oregon, Colorado, Utah, um, and recently we've seen a lot more on the East Coast as well. Um, so we've been kind of building up more contractors on the East Coast and finding our place there.
Gotcha. Okay. Is there any, I guess, new stuff that you guys are working on? I mean, is it with bamboo? It's kind of like right now things are just in a great state and, it's kind of good material as is, or is it something where you like, I guess, come up with new products and things like that, or elaborate on the manufacturing process, anything like that?
I'd say we're always working on different profiles based on what people are looking for, right? So kind of like I said, it's produced in sheets. So there are these big sheets that can then be shaped into the the profile that makes the most sense. So we've been doing decks for a while, but we've been introducing more and more. We have the tongue and groove. So all of them have a tongue and groove end match, but we've been introducing the tongue and groove side, and that is what's often used for the fence fill boards. Um, and another one that we've been doing a lot of lately is the triple fluted siding, which can be installed vertically. It's kind of those little thin strips of siding that have been really popular lately, and it gives it a nice accent. And so that can be used for privacy walls, as well as just accent pieces. Um, and yeah, and more and more fencing as well. So that's something that we introduced a few years back, I would say. And that's been very popular.
Gotcha. How does the I guess how does it stand up against like common fencing materials? I mean, is it, you know, I guess with vinyl or wood, I mean, is it I guess timeline wise, is it something that's lasted a really long time? That same like 25 years, I think you said. How does that compare with like, the most common materials that fencers typically use?
Yeah, it's going to be a really long-term product that you install once, um, and you're not going to be having to do repairs on it over the years. It's not the cheapest fence that you'll buy, but yeah, a lot of fences in California, a lot of privacy wall fence type of applications. Um, but so it is a fence fill board. So it can be used with the Barrett outdoor system. It can be used with the typical Home Depot fence fill system. Um, and yeah, like I said, not the least expensive material on the block, but something that really is a showpiece and really will last the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. It's definitely something that's for not the homeowner that just wants the cheapest everything, which it's definitely it sounds like a high quality product for both fencing, decking, and everything. So definitely as I guess as wood, standard pressure treated wood, kind of maybe not get phased out, but it's just more and more people switching to composite or stuff like this. I think this would be a good option for those people that want that, I guess, really nice, clean, uh, organic look to it, right? Like that's really what's gonna make this stand out versus maybe composites and things like that. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
overall, I mean, kind of just in general, it's kind of like a nice best of both worlds between exotic hardwoods and composites because it installs like composites and it lasts a very long time like composites, but it kind of has the look of those wood.
sure, sure. Okay. And then is there any kind of like training or resources people need when they start using something like this to kind of get familiar with it?
I would say definitely just check out our social media pages, our website, moso-bamboo-outdoor.com. There's a ton of resources on there, whether it's for architects, we have CAD details, we have information on our fire rating that we were talking about. We have installation guides. So we have a YouTube channel, MOSO Bamboo Outdoor. We have the website there. We have our Instagram, which we kind of spend a lot of time on, at our Instagram and Facebook, which again is MOSO Bamboo Outdoor, MOSO. Um, and we have a series called MOSO Minutes, which is our CEO, Brett Kelly, kind of going through a lot of the elements of the product. So I would say taking a look at a few of those short, like 1 minute videos, will kind of just get people acquainted with the product. and give them an idea of it. And then they can feel free to reach out and get installation guides and things like that if and when they're ready to install.
Okay. Is there anything like, you typically say to the contractors that might be, used to using one product, but maybe they're thinking about switching, or, you know, anything you would say to them to like them, I guess the main benefits, highlights, things like that, or how it could help them maybe get bigger projects or create cooler designs, whatever the case may be. Anything you would typically say to somebody like that?
I would say just try building one deck with it because what we always hear, especially for those people that already build hardwood decks, after they install it, it is the fastest deck that they've ever built. And it is just such a beautiful, the homeowner is going to be really happy with it. Um, it is really a showpiece. And we invite people because it's a little bit of a different installation process just to try it out and see how much quicker it is and how much waste product they end up saving. Because yeah, it ends up meaning a higher profit margin for them. And it's also a specific selling point that it is environmentally friendly, and it's kind of this unique product that their neighbors might not have. Um, so it really has a lot going for it, and we just say, yeah, try one deck and see how it goes, and
Yeah.
you'll keep coming back.
Yeah, can't hurt to try it and see. I mean, or at least show it to your customers. I mean, not a whole bunch of harm in, at least showing them that. And, everybody's got different preferences and what they want. And, I feel like it's impossible to really tell what somebody really wants when you're doing the sale too. So you never know. This could be something that you pull out and explain the benefits on it, and they, really like it. Or even, if you're somebody's getting estimates from multiple contractors and you're the only one that's really talking about this, that could be a big sale too. Just having that ability to, try different materials. So could help you out with sales too.
Yeah.
All right. And as we kind of get towards the end here, I mean, is there anything you'd like to add about, all the bamboo products you have, anything related to it?
Um, I'm just taking a look at my notes here. I think we covered kind of how it is constructed, a little bit of our history. Um, I guess I can talk a little bit about where it's located.
Yeah,
So
sure.
yeah. So Mozo's available through retail lumber yards, both home centers, professional yards. Boise Cascade is our distribution partner. On the West Coast with professional lumber yards like Golden State Lumber, J&W Lumber, Builders First Source, to name a few. Retail dealers who stock the product mostly tend to be on the West Coast, and then it can also be ordered anywhere throughout the country through BFS. Um, and and yeah, we're looking to expand across the East Coast as well. There's certain locations where I think that could be a unique offering that contractors could provide on the East Coast. So definitely reach out to us if it's something that you think would be a good fit with your business.
Cool. So yeah, I'm glad you said that too. I forgot that piece. So basically some lumber yards actually have it in stock, and then if it wasn't the case there, you're able to get it in any other state, or is it limited to only certain states? How's that
Yeah,
work?
you can get it in any state. If you have a builder's first source near you, you can definitely get it there. It may not be stocked, but it will be available there. And then across on the West Coast specifically, you'll most likely be able to find it in a local lumber yard. We have a dealer locator on our website, but you should be able to find it in any state however you're going about that, and definitely reach out if you're having any trouble, and we'll connect you with the right people.
Cool. Cool. All right. Yeah. Go check out the website for sure. It's I think it's moso-bamboo-outdoor.com. And there's all kinds of resources on there, like Neil was saying. But um anything else we forgot? I know I missed one. So is there any other things we should discuss around Moso that we haven't?
No, I can't think about anything else in specific. But yeah, we're excited to be presenting this to people, and excited to continue meeting people, and getting this out here in North America.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, go check it out online. And if you're at the expos, it sounds like you guys will be at those too. So that's where I first learned about it. But yeah, definitely reach out to these guys, see if it can help or maybe help get some more sales or just a cool new thing to try and submit for a Nodra award. Who knows, I guess. But yeah,
Absolutely, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
and we like to promote the people who win the Nadra Awards. We've taken out full page ads for some of our Nadra winners. So we definitely support the contractors that we work with.
nice.
Do a good job.
How many did you guys win last year?
I think we won at least one last year. But I have to take a look. But it was this beautiful deck in on the beach in Escondido. Um,
Nice.
yeah.
I'll be there this year, so I'll have to look out for it. Does anybody from Mozo go to the summit, Nodra Summit?
Yeah, yeah, I'd assume so. I'll have to take
Gotcha.
a look at who will be there, but I'm sure we'll be representing. We work pretty closely with the Nadra people and always have a good time.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, I think that about does it for Neil and learn all about Mozo. I hope everybody got a lot of value from this and open their minds a little bit if you haven't heard of it. I'm sure a lot of you already have, but anybody that hasn't, different options that you can have to sell new jobs and kind of having that in your back pocket as a way to show how you're different and, can create new, exciting, different types of decks. So, that's it. Appreciate it, Neil, for coming on here. Going forward with the podcast. We're things have been looking good. We're on schedule, so we're doing about weekly podcasts now, and got that kind of straightened away. So I'm gonna keep bringing on new exciting guests, and also bringing on some try to keep it as diverse as possible so we can get some different insights from different people that can come on here. So feel free to leave a review, subscribe to the podcast, share it with a friend. We want to keep growing it. We're not going to be going anywhere, and we're trying to we hire have team members internally just to help create these episodes, and hope everyone's enjoying them. And if you are, then feel free to share it, review, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And also, now that we're in the winter season, if you have questions about your marketing, this is definitely the time to figure it out before the spring season hits. So feel free to reach out to our team if you have any questions about your website, SEO, Google Ads, Facebook ads, social media. We do all that stuff, and you can reach us through our website at deckfencemarketers.com. And yeah, that's about it. Neil, appreciate you coming on here, and sure we'll talk soon, or at least see you at the next deck conference.
Thanks a lot, Alex. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
All right, take care.